Well, I see one is here. Good evening. Just thought I would catch up with everybody today. Haven't talked to many of you in a while. I'm not sewing yet tonight. I still have to take my iris down off my design wall so I can thread paint it. I'm waiting on fabric to get here from my daughter to finish my quilt. And I don't know if anybody's going to show up. It was just a last minute thing. I've got all of my quilt blocks from the swap. Hello, Marla. Hello, Karen. Karen, you can come join me up here if you want. I know Marla's shy and you're fine where you're at. If that's okay, Marla, you can join too. But I just thought I'd do a little quick live, catch up, see how everybody's doing. My knee is healing, but it's still pretty sore. And that brace he gave me still hurts because it's still knotted a little bit on the inside of the knee. I woke up this morning with the whole knee hurting, not just the right side. So Advil was my friend this morning. Marla, if you want, we can plan a little sewing chat in private and not go live. Just let me know. No, I didn't have to do any physical therapy. It popped yesterday, and it hurt so bad when it popped, it almost made me cry. After it popped, the big knot that was there went away. So I think that pop was that muscle relaxing because he told me it was all knotted up from where I stretched it out too far when I went down. So it's been, what, 21 or 22 days. So I may have to call him, see what he thinks, or even just go in and have him look at it. I think it's healing good. I don't really see a need in going in, to be honest. It's just going to take time. He said if it wasn't better in 3 weeks to come in, but it's better. So there's really no reason to go in. It's just like when I tore my ACL, it took a year for me to be able to straighten my leg or bend it like it should. But I got Nancy's block yesterday. That made all of the blocks. I haven't pressed it yet. And then I need to put my row together so I can add it to the quilt top. Medication time. 1 second, ladies. I better take them or I'll regret it. We went to the quilt shop today, and the repair guy and I got to talk, and he's a really nice man. And I showed him my Singer Red Eye. I had pictures of it. He's got a 1905 Singer that a guy just gave him. And he just gave him the machine. He didn't give him the treadle part. He set that out in his yard. Instead of giving him the whole thing, he just gave him the machine, which I find really weird. And hold on, I got it stuck. So we were talking, and I told him I didn't want to set anything on the machine because I didn't want to ruin the decals. So he gave me this little piece of felt. It's a lot thicker than the felt I have to put on top. But I don't know if I want to set anything on it. I'll probably just put this on it. I don't know that I want to put any thread up on top. I don't want to do anything to harm the decals that are on it. And I know this is a pop-up live, so I didn't expect very many to show up. It wasn't planned, but I didn't see anybody else going live, and I hadn't talked to a lot of you. It's been a while. I didn't see Rita going live or anybody else, so that'd be a quick live. And I've got most of my granddaughter's quilt top enlarged. I guess I could show you that. I have to take you over there, though. Hold on. I could show you the quilt top. My daughter did all the 4 patches on it. And it was big enough for a full-size. Okay, Karen. It was big enough for a full-size quilt, but my granddaughter's in a queen-size bed now. So I'm going to move you. Let me turn the light on first because you don't really want to be in the dark. I also meant to change the settings on my thing because I noticed in the last one I was too quiet. So I'm going to turn my volume back up because I don't want to be that quiet. You guys have to strain to hear me. Oh, let's see if I get down here and change my volume real quick. Yes, it is. I love that machine. Audio. Oh, of course it's not. Okay, that's fine. My browser. There we go. Okay. There, that's probably a little better. Now let me get my granddaughter's quilt so I can show it to you. All of these 4 patches my daughter did. It's her first quilt top. That's a little bright. Maybe we should do this one. Turn this one off. It's bright for a reason. It helps when you sew. Let's turn this one on. Aim it away. That might help. So it was my daughter's first quilt top. And she sews clothing. And I told her she did a really good job. So this is part of it. Let's see if you can see it. So I added from the blue out. And then I took some of the blocks that she had made and I cut them into the 2-inch strips, I think. And then made this border right here to go all the way around. And all of from the blue on, from the blue to the end here, this pink, all of this hangs down the side of my queen size bed. So there's plenty of hangover now. I just don't have enough of this fabric for the back. I'll show you the fabric that goes on the back. And I told my daughter if she could find it to order it, if she can't, to order some pink, and I'll make like 4 stripes on the back that way. But I'm gonna say she should be able to get it because I just got a purple at Joann's, just like this. It's got the dragonflies on it. There's so much light. And then I've still got this beautiful quilt top waiting for another row, which I'll do now that I've got all my blocks. But this is from the swap. Is that right? Yep. So these are all the blocks from the quilt swap. So this one, well, I don't know, that's pretty good size now. I think I might just go ahead and put the others on the back. So this is the front. All the pretty quilt blocks. And then the other side of the front, it's really hard to hold it up with everything. I don't think you saw that. I really like that mixed sashing I did right here with the pink. I really like that. Marla, does that block look familiar, honey? I love that block. Let's see if I can get it folded back up. I think I will. I think it's plenty long enough. And I think I'll put the rest of the blocks on the back, and then it'll kind of be a reversible quilt, right? But I just love it. I just love all the blocks and all the pretties and all the things. It's got to be a beautiful quilt, I think. And I've ordered some books. And that's another thing. Let me go get the book. Get over here so I can read the comments. Oh, I'll get you, sweetie. Hold on. Get back here in my chair. Uh-oh. Hang on, I've lost my mouse. Oh, goodness sakes. Karen's in the basement. I'm struggling in my seat because my dog's taking most of it. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Melina. Hello, Karen. Yay.
Hello.
It's not to talk to myself.
Yay.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Marla. Yeah, mine does lettering too. It takes a while, and you have to do a practice one first on mine so you know which direction that letter goes. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Sheila. Sheila, sweetie, you can come up if you want. I've got it pinned. Hello, Susan. Who else did I miss while I was doing all that? I think that's it. I know I surprised everybody. I got this book. Uh-oh, you touched the wrong button, Karen. Hello, Lisa. So I got this book. This is Susan recommended. And I was looking at it. And as much as I love applique, I also like paper piecing. And this has got, I don't think there's any sizes. Hold on. Because I think it's templates. So like there's the pepper. And I think that's paper pieced. Yeah. But it's really cool because some of them are rounded, which I think that you can applique. Can you square it down, Susan? I didn't measure mine yet. It needs ironed. And I'm not sure it's how she wanted it designed. But it's her first time making blocks. Let me go get it. And that's fine. I'll have to press it. Because I'm pretty sure she was doing a 9-patch. Because it is a 9-patch. But it's fine. It'll work. Oh, my knee. Oh. No, you can't have it, Piper. So this is the block she sent me. I think it goes like this. I haven't measured it yet. Back far enough. Oh, you're back, Karen. Sorry.
Sorry.
But this is what she sent me. I need to measure it. I need to press it. Because, you know, it ran through the mail.
Who was that one from?
That is from Nancy. It's her first time making quilt blocks.
Oh, that one's pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. Hello, Gladys. So that's all of the blocks now. I've got 3, I think, over on the 2 or 3 on the sewing table that need their labels. And then I need to put this one's label on. So Susan, can you square it down? It's like 2 inches bigger. Well, or not add sashing. I don't know if you could square down something that's 14 and not 12. But I actually think that size of what I've got now, it's a 4x5. Can you square it down with, it's so hard to see my comments. Can you square it down without losing the pattern? Oh, oh no wonder I have a headache.
Yeah, see? I don't have a fancy stand.
Yeah, you know, you want to see my fancy stand? And the only reason it's fancy is because I painted it. And I use it for my phone or my tablet because it works for both. And well, I went out to the shop and I grabbed some scrap wood and I made me this fancy dancy stand.
Oh,
And the only reason it's fancy is because I painted it. So these are scraps and it sits on the table like this and it holds either my phone or my laptop. Either one.
Oh, that's
so like
nice.
when Marla and I were talking one night, Marla was sitting on this with my phone while I sewed. And that way I didn't have to hold it.
Let me see. I have an easel. I wonder if that would work.
It might. What you got on your design wall over there?
Those are the only 2 blocks that I have made yet.
Well, you did really good. Did really good. Are you guys still camping or no?
No, I'm out in my shed.
Yeah. Are you just now making the shed for sewing?
Yeah, like the walls aren't finished or anything yet. I just
It's all good.
hung a sheet up on the wall. Okay, bear with me here just for 1 second.
Okay.
Trying to go slow. Okay, but then I need to set it back up. There, now you can see my pretty wall.
Yeah, it's got pretty blocks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there.
Good idea. Oh, okay. She said it was a 9 patch and she thinks she was trying to do a disappearing 9 patch. So I also got this book, which is 501 quilt blocks. Now, there's no patterns. Well, there is, but there isn't, okay? It shows you this. There's no sizes. These blocks are actual size, right? And they said to make a template, is what it said. Yes, I do like the book, Susan. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. And I think it'll work well for the swap. I was also thinking of limiting the swap so that we don't have almost 30 people in it, because that's a lot. So I was thinking 10 is the limit. And if we don't get 10, we can still do it, because we can make table runners, we can make pot holders, we can make wall hangings with whatever we get. And that's my thoughts. Right now we have 5 with a possible 6, as Lisa hasn't decided yet. So once Lisa decides whether she's going to, if she decides to join, that'll be 6. But I think 10 is a good number, especially if we're going to do any of these out of the Pieced Vegetable book, because they are pieced, but I think it's more paper piecing than it is pieced. You might be able to piece some of them. Let me see. That's paper piece. Maybe not. No, they're all paper pieced. And it really should have said paper pieced up here, and it doesn't. You could probably trace them and do an applique, but like this one here, you could probably trace that shape right there and do an applique. So it's showing I think it's all paper pieced, and that's fine, right? I don't mind paper piecing at all. But it's got a lot of vegetables in it, a lot of good looking vegetables.
Nice. I ordered the book. I haven't got it yet.
You've never done paper piecing, Susan? Hello, Donna. Awesome. Donna's got all her blocks too. I think doing something out here is going to be fun. And I actually think that we're not going to have to worry about who gets what, vegetable wise, because it'll all be different. We can set up a date, because I can have 6 people on panel, and I can help you learn if you want to learn paper piecing. I do mine different. I don't sew through the paper. I don't like to tear paper off my fabric. So I use freezer paper and I iron it on. That's how I did that Barn Square Dance quilt. So if you want to do practice, maybe, I don't know, because it starts in January. Maybe in October we can set a date to everybody come up and do a practice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. So I'll send an email and we can all come up and we can practice and help each other and help Susan learn how to paper piece. And you've never paper pieced either, right?
No.
Okay. Marla, you've paper pieced, haven't you? I'm pretty sure you have. And I was actually in EQ8 just before I came live, Marla, because I know you said you wanted a cardinal pattern. And
Hi,
I was trying
Francis.
hi Francis, and I was trying to make a paper pieced cardinal for you. Right. I think you could do them in applique. Donna, have you done applique? Francis, sweetie, you can come up if you want. I don't think I'm gonna be on here long. It was just a quick one. See,
I picked.
seasoned with quilts.
It kind
Oh,
of has some vegetables.
I see. I have to look at my big screen. Oh yeah, onions and carrots and tomatoes?
Um, radish, eggplant.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been looking at thrift stores and I picked up some quilting books and
So are those pieced or applique?
app. No, they're blocks. They're pieced.
Oh, cool.
It has a pattern. The patterns haven't been torn out yet.
Oh, I wouldn't tear them out either. I would copy them if you can. Yeah, Francis, I was going to ask you, how's he doing? So I heard you had to go to the emergency room with him. Did they give him antibiotics or a shot or anything? Did you even call your doctor? I would call my doctor. I think if he fell down earlier just trying to get out of bed, he should be in the hospital. They shouldn't have sent him home. I'm sorry, I was kind of waiting on a response to see if they'd give him some antibiotics. It sounded like he's really, really sick.
That's nothing to mess around with. So
No. Urinary tract infection, though, really shouldn't make him, I wouldn't think that sick.
yeah.
Unless it's worse than that. That's why I was wondering about antibiotics. Something should have kept him in the hospital. That's what they should have done. Um, I would take him too, Francis. Because it sounds like more than just that. Like the infection's more than just urinary tract. I've never heard anybody that bad for a urinary tract infection. Maybe some cranberry juice if he can keep anything down. Yeah, I'd take him to the VA too. Sending love and hugs to both of you guys, Francis. Tell John I'm sorry he's sick. And Sheila, how are you feeling? Are you over your COVID? Hello, Stephanie. You can come up and join us if you want to chit chat. I know you're not shy. And them chickens are getting big. Oh my gosh, have you seen them? They're getting big. Oh no. Found a nodule on his kidney.
Oh.
That's probably what's causing the problem, Francis, not the infection. I am so sorry, sweetie. Oh. Everybody's, well, it is a little late. It's like 9:30 my time. But I'm like, nobody's coming on and we haven't really caught up yet. So I really liked that pumpkin wall hanging you did, Stephanie. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. Did you see it? The pumpkin and it says hello fall. It's just gorgeous. Always,
good.
Francis. I know it's just been a long, tough week for you too. It'll get better, sweetie. Just take a deep breath. We're all praying for you. Yes, Lisa. Peggy, Peggy, Peggy. What? I know. You have Zoom. I know. I do too, Stephanie. It's gorgeous. It will, Francis. So it'll have to be like the second week of October. Are you listening, Lisa? We could do your Zoom because you could hold more people actually to do the sew along and help each other. Hello, Patty.
Hello.
So what are you working on now, Karen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm trying to get up the courage to try an applique.
They're not hard. Did you watch my video?
Yeah. A few times.
It's really not hard. Do it with something simple, like the shape of that eggplant that's in your book. Just trace around. Just trace around on a piece of paper. Because that's got some nice, it should have some nice smooth edges for you to go around. I will, Lisa. But it's going to have to be after my daughter comes. Okay, Francis. Hugs to both you and John. Keep an eye on him and call 911 if you have to.
Yeah, take care, Francis.
Yeah, love you. So, like that eggplant in your book, it's got nice smooth curves, which will be easy to start with, right?
Yeah.
And then the blanket stitch, you didn't get one of my blocks, did you? The blanket stitch, let me, hold on. I'm sure I've got something here. I do. Are you surprised?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Except I almost knocked everything to the floor. All right. So that carrot example I made, it's got the stitching. Yeah, it's really hard to get in my chair when the dog's in the way. Because,
Don't go twisting your other knee.
Oh, I know. Lord, I wouldn't be able to walk. So, hopefully you're going to be able to see this.
Oh, yeah.
See the stitch?
Uh-huh.
So, you have that stitch on your machine?
Yep, I see it.
So, on my machine, it's the one where the straight is on the right
Kind of
and the
looks like a
stitch is
cone.
going to the left. Now, they have it in both directions. That's right, Francis, you are in charge. This one, the direction this one's going, you go around the block this way. The other one, you would have to go the opposite direction, which would put all of this inside your machine. So you want the one that's straight on the right and going in towards the left. And then your stitch width will decide how, let's see, I can't see here. It'll decide how wide this part is that goes in. And the length will decide how close together they are. So on this one, I put mine a little closer together. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I even got my finger in it. So this one, I put it a little closer together just to play with it. Because I normally don't put them that close, but I thought maybe that these carrots could use it on the greens. And once I changed it, I didn't change it back. But it'll be easy, and you don't have to have the fusible. However, put the fusible on the back, because this has got the fusible on the back.
Okay.
Because that stitch will wrinkle this fabric if you don't. It'll try to pull it all in.
Okay.
And then just a dab of glue. And if you hit it with an iron, once you've got it set, once you've got it where you want and you hit it with an iron, it will dry that glue immediately.
And then did you just stitch back and forth?
I follow. Well, that stitch, I just follow around the edge. Let me get in the camera. So with that stitch, I just sewed down along this side. Right. Stop. Actually, so here, she's helping.
She's helping.
Yeah, kind of. She's going to jump over the arm. She's going to go to mom's couch because she's got more room. Go away. Okay. So with this, I started right here. So I put it in the machine like this. And then I would start on this leaf here, come down here, and then make sure your needle's down on the outside. Then turn your fabric and come back down the other side. And the machine does all this.
Okay. I've been gathering vegetable appropriate colored fabrics so that I can some greens and some yellows and orange and
yep, and then you've got reds and purple.
Yep.
Thank you, Susan. I made it kind of, see, it says carrot seeds, 25 cents. I don't know if you can see it. And then the carrots below. And I think I'll just quilt it and let it be a wall hanging. Or it might go into something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That's why it's only this far, right?
Yeah, that's
but
cute.
I did it as an example of what can be done with the blocks, right? You don't have to piece them. You can applique them. But, and I like the idea of trying to make it look like a seed packet, right? Thank you, ladies. Mom actually gave me these carrot colored fabrics. I have to gather up some fruit and vegetable appropriate fabrics too. I might still have some orange. I don't know. I'm saying 8.5, but you know what? I'm going to say, since it's going to be different, how about we'll see what y'all think that are in it. Donna. My husband came septic and he. Oh, I'm sorry, Donna. And he didn't survive it.
Oh, it's terrible.
That is awful. What do you guys think about, actually, we can talk about it in October, but as long as you don't go too big, I'm just saying make a block and share it. And whatever size it becomes, because I said 8.5 unfinished. This is not 8.5 unfinished, and I should have made it 8.5. I don't know if my P. Let me see if my P block is. And I probably should have, but for some reason I didn't. Yeah, I did. So this P block is 8.5. Now, it's pieced. I actually paid for a couple patterns, like $3 for a couple patterns. So this is the P block.
Cute little piece.
And that's 8.5 compared to this, which I adore, right? So I'm thinking, well, this one's 8.5 wide, but it's taller.
Yeah.
It's 8.5 wide before I put the sashing on. So I think when we have that thing in October, I think maybe we should decide if we just want to go 8.5 wide and however tall, right? Because some of your fruits and vegetables need more height, if that makes sense. And it might be easier for everyone. And I'm not sure what size these are. I mean, the ones in this book are tiny. That's not even 8.5. The ones in this book are about the size of this white. Some of them. And then there's those, well, then there's this one. It's a pumpkin, which is bigger. That's bigger than 8.5. No, not quite. I just, after looking at this book and looking at other things, I was thinking that if we stay with 8.5 wide and maybe, because look, see, this one's a long one, so you could probably make it into a longer block, right? Oh, where's Sheila? Yeah. Increase the size of printing. I think so, because some of these are kind of small. They're not even 8.5. But see, I was going to trace it. So if I was going to make this bigger, if you can see it. So if I was going to make this bigger, because that's not even an 8.5, I would have to trace it first, because I don't think it's going to copy well on my printer. So I would have to trace all the lines and all the things. Well, I don't even think I'd have to do the numbering. I can do it afterwards. And then copy that, I think, to make it larger. I don't know why it keeps going to the bell pepper page. I guess it wants me to make a bell pepper. I don't know. Every time I open it, that's where it goes. But that's like this other book I got that's got 501 quilt blocks. Well, It's set in the front. Now, I think that's a mistake. This is by Better Homes and Gardens. And it says, you'll find the patterns for the blocks starting on page 52. These are actual size. Just lay your template plastic over them and trace. That's all it says, right? Because I'm looking and I'm like, it doesn't say anything about seam allowance. So if they weren't talking seam allowance, and you pick any one of these blocks and you trace the template for this block, right? These blocks are 4 inches.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
not
you
that
didn't
big,
put,
right?
no. So if you didn't put a seam allowance in there, that's going to be a small block. Now, I took Piper outside for an hour and a half and played ball with her. But I was thinking we could do 8.5 wide and however tall it goes. And that way we can still work it into whatever project we're going to do because of the width, and everybody will know how wide it is. And I think that'll give leeway for like carrots or green beans or onions or even the beets, because the beets had
Yeah.
all the beet things I've seen had these big tall things come off of them. Or corn. So if you wanted to do like a ear of corn on a stalk, you have room to put the stalk and then the ear. That was my thought. It would just help make it easier. So what I'm doing, okay, this is what I did with this. Mother fell in love with one of these blocks because she's got that embroidery machine and she wants to do some embroidery. So she fell in love with this block right here, right? So when we went to town, went to Paris and picked up our pills, she wanted to go to the quilt shop. So we went to the quilt shop and we picked 4 fabrics for this. I don't know who's erroring out on me. Anyway, I don't have an error. So we picked 4 fabrics and she's going to embroider a design for the center of this. Instead of fussy cutting, she's going to put a design in the middle with her embroidery machine.
That'll
Well,
be beautiful.
this is a 4-inch block. And I said, that's kind of small to design an embroidery because the whole block is 4 inches. So that makes that 4, I say 3, 2. I say that's only 2 inches and it's really not big enough for embroidery design. So I took it into EQ8 and I've got it as 8-inch pattern. I drew it out in EQ8 and I'll get the fabrics in a second to show you. Anyway, I made it an 8-inch block and I made it so that centerpiece is 5 inches instead of the little bitty thing that it was. And what I told her she needs to do is maybe use safety pins, or even if she did a stay stitch around it and then embroidered it. The machines. And she wants to do, she said it's called candle wicking. I'll show you what it looks like. I got to move all the dog blankets now that she's off of here. So we picked out the 4 colors, and my mother is a red, white, and black person. And I said, we are not doing another red, white, and black, Mother. And she says, why not? It's so pretty together. And I said, we're not doing another red, white, and black. I'm sorry. No, we're going to pick another color. Well, we went with the intention of getting a jelly roll that had different shades of blue, right? Well, our local quilt store didn't have a jelly roll that had all kinds of different shades of blue.
Of course
Go
not.
figure. No, they had everything else, but no. Let's see. So this is called candle wicking
Oh,
on her machine, and it's little. It's just they're bumpy, like they're gorgeous. And then there's this one.
ooh,
Isn't that gorgeous?
that is pretty.
And then there's this one that she's done.
Oh,
So things like this are going to go in the center of that block. And I love this one.
oh wow, that's
And
beautiful.
don't touch any buttons on the keyboard. So they're going to go with this fabric. So you remember the block, okay? So this is the inside around the center square, okay? I don't know if it's showing up blues and some tans, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the outside border,
Ooh.
and it's kind of blues, and there's touches of purple. I don't know that that's going to show up. Let's get closer.
No,
No, not really, but there's
not
blues and
really.
purples in this one. So this will be that outside border, and then this one will come in next to this, okay? And then this one has swirls on it. This is the one she's going to embroider on. It's kind of a cream color. I know it looks white there. So this is the center. So it's going to go, oh, can't see it. Scoot it up, woman. So it's going to go outside border and, hold on. It's going to go outside border and then inside border, and then she's going to embroider on this. And then those diamonds are going to get this color.
That's going to be really pretty.
And it's all going, okay. So it might make sense when I show you the block again. One book. Stop it. So it's this block here. So outside borders at dark blue, and then the lighter blue, then the cream in the center, and these red diamonds are going to be that light blue. And I put it in EQ8, and it's going to look nice. And she didn't want a big one, so I told her I put it in EQ8 to make the pattern for her. And then we were sitting here, and she goes, "You do know that you're the one making the quilt, right? I'm just doing the embroidery." So I'm like, "Okay, Mom, thanks." But yeah, for her, she's going to do the embroidery, and I am now in charge of making the quilt. And I had her get 2 yards of each. And after I put it into EQ8, there's plenty of fabric. Let me see what size it ended up. Let me open EQ8 back up. I'm working on that card. No, I can't. Hold on. I think it was 50 by 50. 50 by 59. Because I went 5 by 6 on the blocks, and they're 8-inch blocks. And she didn't want a big one. And after I did it, it doesn't even take all of this fabric. Like, doesn't take hardly any cream. The most it takes is that, is it the light blue? I don't know. I have to look at it again. But none of it was the 2 yards. So there's plenty. I just need to be in charge of cutting the cream or mother will run out. Oh yeah, she is, isn't she? Isn't she? Yeah, she's smart aleck is what she is, Donna. She just giggled over there and thought it was funny. She just handed me another quilt project. Thanks, Mom. So funny. Yeah. But I'm in charge of putting it all together. So I think if we do, probably since there's going to be a lot of extra of this cream, I think if I do a 6-inch square and have her center it, I can square it up to the 5.5, right? Before it goes into the quilt. And when she's going to have to make 30 of them. And she told me to pick a design. And it's really hard when I like them all, right? So like I really love this one. Like just love that one. And she's going to do them in blues. So she could do 2 different blues. And that way it's going to match the quilt.
Yeah, that
But
would be nice.
then there's this one that I really love as well. And she's got so many others. And she was playing with these and she goes, well, what are you going to do with them? I said, well, I guess these are going to get turned into mug rugs. That's what's going to happen to these. So there's like 5 of them. She did a cameo too, but it wasn't this candle wicking. That's what they call it, is candle wicking. So she was just playing with scrap fabric. But I think if I make them 6 by 6 or maybe even 6.5 by, that way there shouldn't be any pulling because I'm going to make her put it on stabilizer first. And it's probably going to have extra to get into the frame. It's going to have extra stabilizer to help. The embroideries, Stephanie, aren't they gorgeous? She ordered a bunch for that sewing machine. She only paid $200 for.
Wow.
Okay, well, I got to mute. Hold on. Well, I need to take this call and it's late, so I'm probably going to call tonight. Okay?
Good.
Love y'all, and I'll send an email about the first part of October, okay?
Awesome.
Thanks for joining
Everybody
me,
have a
Karen.
good
I appreciate
night.
it. You too. Bye, everybody.